In this video today, I'm gonna be teaching you about something that is gonna completely expand your mind for all of my real estate investors out there. Acquisition is easy, execution is difficult. I want everybody to remember that. Acquisition is easy, execution is difficult. What do I mean? So for many of my new investors, aspiring investors, maybe you've done a deal or two, you believe that the hardest part is going out finding deals and getting the money for the deals, closing on the deals, right? After almost 17 years in this business, done several hundred transactions. I own over 100 commercial multifamily units, right? Done a ton of fix and flip and wholesale over the years. Acquisition is the easiest part in the process. Once you develop the skill and the network, deal flow becomes the easiest part. The most challenging though, and always will remain the most challenging. And I heard my buddy Mike Zuber say this earlier. He said, you close on a deal one time, but then you stuck with it for years to come. And that's so true. When you go out and close a deal, I don't care how beautiful it was, how well the deal penciled on the front end, if you don't have the right resources on the back end, from property management companies to project managers to contractors, the likelihood of you losing money is very high. It's very high, okay? And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about protecting yourself against a lot of the things that you're susceptible to on the back end in terms of bad contractors, losing money, mismanagement of projects, all the rest of it, okay? Because there's going to come a point in time in your career where you're going to be like me and you're going to find that acquisition is the easiest part. Raising capital once you know how to do it, underwriting deals effectively once you know how to do it, sourcing properties once you know how to do it, right? Like that is the easiest part of everything that we do. The most difficult part, however, is finding the right property management company who isn't going to take money from you every month. Finding the right contractors that can actually go out and execute on your project. Finding the right project managers that can be your eyes and ears if you so choose to do it from afar. Critical components, right? So let's talk about that. So one, let's talk about contractors. Okay. So some of the questions are, so how do I find good ones, etc.? So one of the first places will be referrals. Okay. One of the first places to be referrals. The only challenge with referrals is contractors are very finicky in that they could use a certain set of crewing on one particular job for somebody else, use a totally different crew when they do your job, and you have a totally different experience than that referral. So it still takes for you to have the right fundamentals in place to safeguard you against even a referral that could go bad. Okay. You could also go to Home Depot and Lowe's, right? You can get to these establishments early in the morning and start to look for those that are there early, because those that are there early typically are your better contractors because they actually get to the supply house early so they can put a full day's work in, right? You don't want the contractors that's rolling into Home Depot 9, 10 o'clock. They're going to get to your job at 12 o'clock, put in half a day, and bill you as if it was a full day's of work, right? Then you got, and this one I really like. So if you scouting out a particular marketplace, one of the best things you could do is just look at other projects that's going on. Because if you're in the right kind of market, it should be active. So there should be other projects going on. Well, if it is, then you could always stop by other live projects. That's one of my favorite places to meet contractors because that's their business card. They're legitimately doing a job at another property and you're seeing them in real time, unannounced. So it's no dog and pony show. You're really seeing, like, are they there on time? The cleanliness of the job site. How many people do they have there working? You get to see all of this in real time. Listen, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I'd just be remiss if I didn't let you know, yes, we do have another one of our 5-day challenges coming up, the iFlip Challenge, where I am teaching you how to go out and build a 6- and 7-figure business in 12 months using other people's money. If you are trying to go out and build a real estate business and achieve the time freedom and financial freedom that you've been seeking all your life, then click the link in the description, join the next challenge. I look forward to meeting you guys there. Now back to the video. One thing, and I think, you know what, I'm gonna make this a 2-part video because I got a lot that I can unpack in this process of showing you guys how to safeguard yourself in the execution phase of the project. So one being contractors, right? We talk about getting referral leads. We talk about go to Home Depot and Lowe's to look for contractors that are out there early in the morning, and then look at live projects. Now this is a major key, y'all. This is something you cannot afford to miss when you're dealing with contractors. And here it is. Pay contractors in arrears. Pay contractors in arrears. Now, what does that mean? This is what it means. You're going to want to give a contractor a small deposit initially. Why a small deposit? Well, for a couple reasons. One, contractors gonna go out, look at your job. When you're ready to get started and move forward, you're all excited. You got your deal, you're about to close it. Everybody's happy. The money is coming. But what happens is they say, okay, I'm gonna send you over the contract, sign it, and then give us our 50% deposit, we'll get started. Now, I just want you to ask yourself this question because what I'm about to tell you is gonna make you feel very uncomfortable when you gotta have this conversation with a contractor. And I want to prep you so that you can have this difficult conversation because it's gonna save you a ton of money as long as you do this. The question is, if I give you 50% down, can you do 50% of the work in the first week? The answer is always no. If you got a $60,000 renovation, say you got a 60K renovation, right? And you got 12K for a roof, you got 8K in windows, maybe you got 15K in HVAC, right? You got 6K in electrical, you got another, say, 5K in plumbing, so you got 5K in framing. What's my point? I could keep going. My point is this. Based on just simple order of operations within a project, there's a certain way that they have to go about doing these in a specific order to make sure that the thing that they're working on is prepping for the next thing they need to work on. Like, you wouldn't go and start painting the house and then changing out the roof because now you're leaving yourself susceptible to mess up the paint that you already did, right? You wouldn't go and start drywalling and closing up walls without first pressure testing the plumbing that you replaced, because if you didn't and you got a leak behind the wall, you got to tear back into the wall and do that. I can go on and on, right? We go over this stuff ad nauseum inside of our mentorship program. But I want to just highlight this because I want to give y'all a visual representation of what I'm saying. If you got a $60,000 bid and they say give me $30,000, they're asking you for 50%, right? They want 50%, so they want 30K as a deposit. But there's no way that they can do $30,000 worth of work in week one. So what do? You tell them, I'm gonna tell you what, Mr. Contractor, Miss Contractor, tell me what's your scope of work for the week? How much you gonna accomplish in this first week of work? Oh, we're gonna do demo and the roof. Perfect. So out of that 60,000, now you give them enough to do demo and a good deposit on the roof. So maybe you give them, 7, 8 grand, 10 tops. And here's why you're doing that. Number one, because that only makes logical sense, right? If it's a choice between you holding my money and me holding my money, I'd much rather hold on to it until the time is appropriate. Listen, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I just want to tell you really briefly, if you are an aspiring investor or you are an active investor and you want to scale your business through remote investing, you have to go get a copy of my ebook, The Top 5 Things That You Need to Know About Investing in Real Estate Remotely. There's no fluff. It is practical application on how you can go out and build a solid remote investing business with all the fundamentals that you need. There's the link in the description below. Go out, get you a copy of that book, and also make a comment. Let me know how it's helped you. All right, now back to the video, y'all. The second thing is, if for whatever reason this contractor doesn't show up, doesn't comply, doesn't do what they're supposed to do, well, if you gave them 6, 7, 10,000 and off a $60,000 bid and you still left with 50, you got a chance to recover in that situation. If you don't, however, and you give them $30,000, you give them 50% down, it's hard to make up that kind of money and still go out and have a successful deal. It's next to impossible because you just had a $30,000 loss before you even started. If this video, listen, and I'm gonna do a part 2 and possibly a part 3 to this. If this has helped you, please comment in the comments. Like, subscribe, share this video with a friend, a loved one, an aspiring investor. Do not be selfish with this information because I'm telling you right now, people get beat by this stuff every day and lose hundreds of thousands of dollars and have a bad taste in their mouth. And the very thing that could have helped them build generational wealth, they get completely turned off by it. They think everything is a scam and they think all contractors are bad. But here's the reality. Most people are as bad as you allow them to be. And if you don't first have the education and understand how you need to hold people accountable, then how could you ever hold them accountable, right? So people can only take advantage of what you don't know, which is why ignorance is so expensive, okay? Like, subscribe, comment, share, and again, leave me a comment, let me know how this video helped you guys, okay? And I'll see you in part 2.